of instances of sexual harassment,
mm,
and it shouldn't just end at the school level. We've seen an apology, and I believe the apology is even not enough. Uh, so we should set an example out of that. The school could do its own investigation, but maybe they may have limited powers. So if the external regulator comes in, they have much power to carry out an extensive and elaborated investigation that can even until a full scale of prosecution if they want to. That's why we are interested in petitioning them to step in.
mm, mm. Now, but looking at the video and um, the explanation given by the priest, do you think that the explanation marries the video's consequences?
Well, he said he wanted to add human touch to the application for
Mm,
even the three students. And no matter what explanation you have given it, there's no way that can quite wash your action.
mm,
Actually, there's no way the explanation could quite wash that particular action. Over the years, we have failed to recognize or acknowledge or even understand instances of harassment and the scale of which that is a travel, and such that we have downplayed them or dismissed them or in a way tolerated them in schools, right from the basic level to the tertiary level.
mm,
And the practice has festered, and we are seeing. And one thing about sexual harassment is that if the harassment is not well looked at or dealt with at the early stage, it tends to become sexual violence.
mm,
So there's a need for us to take strong stance against sexual harassment, and when it's allowed, when it is something that is normalized in an institution, then we can have instances of sexual violence in an institution, and we don't need to get there. And if we would do that, then the school does not become a conducive environment for effective teaching and learning. As we are seeing students get impacted by their teachers,
mm,
it could start by way of harassment that has been downplayed by the students, that has been failed to be recognized by the teacher that this is even a harassment in the first place, and it
mm,
has gone ahead to become an instance of violence, and in most violence, rape case, and some of these pregnancy could be an instance of rape case we may know, or some of them could be by consent of the children. Whether, but that is also another argument whether it's a consent, and still that can constitute a rape because if the child is not at the age of sexual consent, which is 16, if that child even allows you, a teacher, to engage in sexual intercourse with that particular girl,
mm,
it constitutes rape. So
mhm,
for me, I believe that it is the harassment that we have downplayed over the years and we have normalized over the years that has festered and has grown into violence in our, especially the basic level. And
mm.
we are not seeing so much difference at the tertiary level. Those people, they are old, but we believe that they are also not much aware of what constitutes sexual harassment. So they have also normalized it and it is growing.
Mm. Now let's look at the code of conduct of the Ghana Education Service. What has the code of conduct speculated in terms of issues pertaining to sexual harassment? Listening to a situation whereby the teacher is taking care of this girl for the past 8 months. There is sex, there is a threat for abortion, and all this. What is the code of conduct saying in such a situation?
All right. The code of conduct is clear about instances of all form of violence, being it psychological violence,
Mm,
sexual violence, or physical violence against students. And as a teacher, you are to display professionalism at all times in dealing with your students.
mm,
You must not have anything that could suggest a sexual idea, even in the mind of a child, let alone having an intercourse with that particular child. When you
mm.
do that, you have violated the code of conduct,
Okay.
and not only the code of conduct, you are even violating national provision of our law,
Mm,
like the Children's Act, and I'm sure even provision of the Constitution. They have been going against that. So teachers, what I see is there's a lack of, first of all, awareness about the full scale or the height at which we have attached seriousness instances of sexual harassment in our school. I will not say that they are not aware of what constitutes sexual harassment.
Mm,
They may be aware, but because we have downplayed it over the years, we have
mm,
dismissed their occurrence, or we have normalized it in our institutions,
mm,
and we don't see so much actions taken against such teachers. It has become a practice such that even if I know having anything to do with my students is against the law, it's against the code of conduct, it's against the sexual harassment policy, and
mm.
could even be against the national constitution or an act, they still go ahead because in most instances we don't even see the conclusion of such investigation if there is any at all.
Mm,
And some of them they have just to settle at the community level. They do not travel to the law court where we
mm.
see the appropriate action taken against them. We do not see the employer taking an action against them. So maybe if we have to sanction you by withdrawing you from the service, we do not see such instances. So for me, I think we're taking a soft stance against the practice, though in word we still we are against it in our school. When it happens, the aftermath, how it is dealt with, doesn't tell us that we are taking a strong stance against it.
Okay. Now let's look at. Let me summarize with you. But I'm hoping that our subsequent discussions will come to the studios. Are you in town?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Do your best, and then
Yeah.
I will look at you getting into the studios. I have a lot of guests seated, and we have a lot to talk about. Very
Okay.
unfortunate today. Technology couldn't, permit us. But
Yeah. What I'm friend.
um, let me take your last take on that, since the studio is already filled up with a lot of guests. Your last take on the sexual harassment in schools and the adverse effect, because you are a teacher and you know the consequences of such, attitudes in terms of moral rights, the learners, psychological effect, and all that. What happens there? What is your advice?
All right. At the tertiary level, and juxtaposing that to what happened in St. Monica College of Education.
Mm,
What I deduced from that video is that there's a lack of awareness on the part of the students on what constitutes sexual harassment. I wasn't surprised when I saw some of them cheering the priest on or cheering the action up. And what I saw was that the
mm,
students were surprised and it looked like an excitement, not because they know this is a sexual harassment, but
mm,
because they thought, no, this is a priest and this is a church and this should not be happening. So
mm,
that surprise, that shock was from the angle of morality. No, this is not moral right for a priest to do,
mm,
but not
mm,
on the ground that somebody's right is being violated as far as the issue of the sex is concerned. So
mm.
there's a need for our institutions to do more to create awareness about the existence of sexual harassment policies in their school. That's
Mhm.
not the only thing. After they have created awareness, there is a need for them also to create awareness among teachers because the harassment is not only on students, although based after the bulls.
Mm.
And in most instances, too, the sexual harassment is about power imbalances.
All
Your
right.
power is getting the
Good.
power, a choice on a lower body. So there's a need for more awareness to be created. I know there's a gender committee in our colleges of education,
Mm,
gender champions. These two
mm,
bodies will work collaboratively to create more awareness among the students about what constitutes that. And then also the provisions that are available for addressing them. Because at times the students may know that I'm being sexually harassed, but have to report. There's
mm.
a need for them to know that there's a safe space in the school where their identity is protected to be protected so that they can feel well emboldened to report instances of sexual harassment. At the basic school level, I thought that the problem is being dealt with at the community level. A child gets pregnant for the teacher, and
Mm,
they want to solve it at the community level. No, we need to GS. We need to be taking example acts of these issues because
mm,
if we don't, we see the reoccurrence of it. If a teacher has impregnated a student, in most instances, it will be a rape case because for me, I know most of these students at the basic level hardly would they be 16 years old. 16 years old is the age of sexual consent. So it
Mm.
means those children are at a lower age, lower than 16. And the provision of the Children's Act is that if you have a sex with a child lesser than 16 years of age, it constitutes rape, whether the child has given you consent or not.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, we need to be looking at the criminality of what you are doing and prosecute you from that angle.
Mm.
If that happens, then I think it will send a strong signal. And then also the children have to be much aware of what constitutes the harassment, because when the harassment is not dealt with, it becomes the sexual violence against the children that we see. So how do we educate our students against this use of sexual harassment from their teachers? And what are the provisions in the school that if you are facing harassment, how can I report? If I can report my teacher to another teacher, what are
Mm.
other provisions that are available that I can report to a parents or an outsider, a PTA, an SLC person, so that they can step in? At times, these children become helpless from the education. You saw this, I posted something on my WhatsApp
All
about this
right.
particular thing.
Divine.
The response, yeah,
Divine. Let me just get to Claudia. Hopefully after the show
okay,
we have more discussions then.
all right,
All right. Thank you very much for your time. That is Divine. He is an African Education Watch Fellow, very interested in matters pertaining to education. And he has given his consent that, look, there should be more sexual education. Let me speak to Claudia on phone before I get to the studio.